Ranking Phase 3 of the MCU is going to be a bit of a challenge on a couple levels. Level number 1, Phase 3 is not yet finished, and there's a few that I am highly anticipating and I cannot wait for. I'm so excited. And there's some pretty darn good ones that have come out so far already. So, yeah, let me know what your ranking of Phase 3 is thus far, and which ones are you anticipating the most that are coming out soon in the comments. Welcome to Durbania, I'm Durbin, and this is my ranking of Phase 3 of the MCU thus far. Oh man, it's gonna be hard because, you know, Phase 3 isn't yet complete, but I'm excited to do it, and the ones that have come out, they're actually pretty good, so it's hard to kind of rank that. So I'll start with what are some of my anticipated movies of the MCU coming out, and obviously there's the two that are on my mind. You got Thor Ragnarok, that is a Phase 3er that I am just beyond excited for, and that one, at the posting of this video, is coming out soon, and I cannot wait to see that. And then we have Black Panther coming out in February. Oh, that looks awesome, and Black Panther was just one of my favorite new additions in Civil War. So, like, I am super excited to see him in Wakanda. I'm excited to see how they do Wakanda in this movie. I had somebody comment on my Black Panther trailer reaction about, like, all the cool things that I can be anticipating. And so, like, I am just so pumped for that. So, I am really, really excited. So, those are the ones I'm anticipating. And, of course, I'm super anticipating the next Avengers movie, Infinity War. Thanos is coming! Oh, I can't wait. Okay, anyway, diving into what has already been released and ranking what I can thus far for Phase 3. Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Frickin' loved this movie. I love this steelbook that I got from Best Buy too, with the cool little red button here, don't push, and there's nothing to push, but it's still so cool. I really do like this steelbook, and I'll do what I can to buy these steelbooks. But the reason it's at my number 4 is I just don't think this lived up to the full potential that the first Guardians of the Galaxy got to. But there's still a lot of stuff I liked in this. One of the things that I loved about this, I didn't know Ego was a bad guy. Now, I haven't read Guardians of the Galaxy comic books. I've only seen the first 2 seasons of Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers animated series, so I didn't really get into anything with Guardians of the Galaxy or anything like that. So, and somehow, I managed to miss anything that could spoil that Ego the Planet was evil. And so for me, that was a really great twist that Kurt Russell was the bad guy of this movie.
I'm your dad, Peter.
Now, they do a lot to let you know there's something fishy about this entire situation, but I kept making up stories in my head because I was so happy Peter Quill found his dad, Ego, and I thought Kurt Russell was just having so much fun in that role. Like, I wanted him to be like his dad and to really just be happy. And so I was coming up with stories in my head that maybe Ego is, though he's like this celestial being, this god, maybe somehow he's held hostage by Thanos and a trap has been set and they've been lured in. Like, I'm trying to figure all this stuff out something that would make Ego innocent, but such a thing did not exist. And that was a really big twist for me. God was looking out for me on that one, that I did not run into a single spoiler there, because apparently, now that I know it, I see it everywhere. Ego's the bad guy, and I should have seen that plain as day, but whatever. I'm glad it was a twist for me in this movie. And then the other twist, that Yondu dies. I mean, that just got me right here. Those were really touching and great heart-filled moments. And I like Baby Groot. I think Baby Groot, they might have used him a tad bit too much, but whatever. I enjoyed Baby Groot. I thought he was hysterical. And my favorite scene with Baby Groot is that whole thing where they're trying to direct him to go get Yondu's new little mohawk deal so that he can control the arrow and stuff like that. And all the stuff Groot went through and didn't understand their instruction. I thought all of the fin, that's what it was, not a mohawk, the fin. I thought all of that was fantastic. So, like, I don't know. I thought Baby Groot was fun, especially his dancing at the beginning. So there's a lot of stuff I liked. It's just, I didn't like that the first one was all of them coming together, and then in this one they split them apart really fast. I didn't like them being split apart and then trying to, you know, figure out their way to get all back together. I wanted to see more of all these guys together. And I did like how they brought Yondu into the fold. I liked how they brought Gamora's sister into the fold. So I liked things like that, but You know, I think the thing that kind of just stands out to me, something I didn't like, was them, and Mantis, I liked her too. I just didn't like them separating the Guardians of the first movie. Number 3, Spider-Man Homecoming. Tom Holland is Spider-Man, and that's just that. I loved his take on Spider-Man, and when I saw Civil War, I got hyped. I got hyped for Spider-Man to have his own movie. I could not wait to see his own movie, and Homecoming absolutely did not disappoint me. The first thing that I absolutely loved about this movie was its lightheartedness and its humor.
Hey, Peter, you coming tonight?
I can't tonight. I got the Stark internship.
What's up, guys?
I loved that about the movie. What I loved about the humor, it was very 80s John Hughes kind of thing, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Great Ferris Bueller's Day Off scene actually in this movie. But like, this movie just had a lot of great moments like that. I love that 80s humor. I just thought it was good, and Tom Holland was fantastic, and it had the right mix of Tony Stark being in this movie. Not where he was overbearing, not where he overshadowed Tom Holland, not where he overshadowed Spider-Man, but it was just enough that you got the idea of Spider-Man being in this universe, wants to be a superhero. He wants to live up to, you know, Tony Stark, to Captain America, and he wants to officially be an Avenger. Like, you get to see this. And then you get to see, as he kind of evens out and gets humbled throughout the movie, and gets like a focus on what he really wants to do and help the little guy. And so being an Avengers alternate instead of actually being on Team Avengers and helping the little guy in New York City. So like, I thought that was so cool to see that. Of course, it also makes me want the Tom Holland Spider-Man to appear on these Netflix Marvel movies, since he's decided to stick around New York and all those guys are around New York. That would just be awesome. But the point is, I had a lot of fun with this movie. Michael Keaton was just so absolutely amazing as the Vulture. There are so many things to like about this movie, and so this one just came in at my number 3. Number 2, Doctor Strange. Gosh, I love this movie. Now look, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, I just follow a lot of the same origin beats like Iron Man and things like that. Truth is, I just don't care. I really don't care that it did that. I thought this movie was well done and well executed. So what if there were huge parts of the origin story that reminded me of Iron Man, where you have the cocky hero who gets humbled and getting humbled, figures out what he wants to do with his life, discovers new power, uses said power to help people. So what if that's like the same kind of beats of the origin story of Iron Man? Does not bug me at all. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job in this role, and I cannot wait for Infinity Wars to have the 2 Sherlock Holmes in this same movie.
I agree it's not my best disguise, but I had to make do.
Don't be smart, Sherlock. I'm the smart one.
I am the smart one.
Point is I thought this was an amazing movie. Number 1, it was amazing because of the visuals. I mean, nobody could argue with that. The visuals in this movie were incredible. I never got to see it in 3D on the big screen. I was disappointed. As you can see, though, maybe you can see, this is the 3D version, and I was really excited when I finally got to see it in 3D, and this movie did not disappoint me in 3D. Just absolutely incredible. Plus, the overall story of this film, there were so many interesting things that really involved having the right heart, a heart of humility, in order for these things to work properly and to have the wisdom to know what to do. And so like, a lot of that stuff I just thought was so well done and so smart, on top of the fact that it has that fun Marvel humor to it, and I don't know what else to say. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was absolutely amazing in this. I love Doctor Strange. I thought it was fantastic. Number 1, Captain America, Civil War. I loved Civil War. Absolutely loved it. This movie did so much right. First off, it is kind of an Avengers movie. So they grab all these heroes and they throw them together in this movie. But they did such a good job balancing it out that I feel like every hero that was in this movie, we got to move them forward. Like, we got more into their character, we got to move them to the next chapter of the Marvel story and things like that, and I thought that was really, really cool. But then, it still managed to be about 2 heroes in particular, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. So even though it had all these heroes in it, it still managed to be about these 2. Then on top of it, you could just watch this and know this is a Captain America-centric film, and it is the 3rd entry into the Captain America trilogy. So being able to balance that out, that takes a lot of talent. It takes a lot of talent to write something like that. It takes a lot of talent to direct something like that. It takes a lot of talent to make the final product something that still fits like that, and I thought this movie did an amazing job with it. And the other thing that I really liked, I was watching this movie and I was Team Captain America all the way. I thought Tony Stark was way off base. I thought he was way wrong. And I thought he was a jerk about it, okay? I'm just going to be honest. He was a jerk about it, and I wanted Steve Rogers to break his nose. That's what I wanted to happen, and I wanted that to happen so bad. And hey, guess what? I got that. He didn't break his nose, but he took him down several notches at the end of this movie, and that made me happy. But then when this movie ended, it ended with me still liking Tony Stark. It ended with me still looking forward to seeing him in Spider-Man Homecoming. It didn't leave me hating this character. Even though I was not on Tony Stark's side, this movie did a good job that I could understand where Steve Rogers was coming from, and I could understand where Tony Stark was coming from. So even though I had already picked a side going in because I liked that side, I understood where both sides are coming from. So that's one of the things I loved about this movie. It had such a great balance on all that, on top of the action was just awesome. That airport scene, the whole Captain America versus Iron Man scene, come on. Plus, our introduction to Black Panther, it's got me hyped for Black Panther. The fact that this introduced me to a new Spider-Man, and then the Spider-Man movie delivered, has me beyond excited that we got introduced to Black Panther, and I know that Black Panther movie is going to deliver. There it is. That is my ranking of the MCU Phase 3 thus far, complete with what I'm anticipating the most. How about you now? What are you anticipating the most coming up from the MCU? And how would you rank these 4 MCU movies that have already been released? Definitely let me know in the comments while you're there. Hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Next to the subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified the moment I drop new videos. Check out my Phase 2 ranking and my Phase 1 rankings, and definitely comment on there with your rankings, and check out my other ranking videos, trailer reactions, movie reviews, theological analyses, and other great things I have on this channel. I'm Durbin. Thank you for checking out Durbania.